What's up, Leafs fans? Welcome back to another Leafs Nation After Dark. I'm Zack Phillips, and tonight we're going to be breaking down game number 33 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season, defeating the Buffalo Sabres. Poor Buffalo here tonight, moving to 12 consecutive losses, but the Leafs defeat them 6-3. In tonight's post-game show, we'll dig into getting off on the right foot, starting the game on time, finding a way to beat Buffalo in Buffalo, not allowing the Sabres to take the fans out of it, as Lindy Ruff said earlier today, and we will dig into Matt Murray and what was a bit of a sloppy third period that basically gave me this panic that they were going to blow this thing and go to Leafs of old. So that was a little bit of a concern there in the third. We'll dig into all of that on the show here tonight. But before we get into anything, you guys know, as we break down all of it, we answer questions from the chat. We take your super chats. We get those likes up here. We do the smelling salts throughout the course of the stream here tonight. It is a presentation of Bet365. Bet365 is a proud partner of the Leafs Nation pregame and the Leafs Nation After Dark. That is right. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, N-A-T-I-O-N, all caps, N-A-T-I-O-N, yes, not the Washington Capitals, the caps button on your keyboards, all caps, N-A-T-I-O-N, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Dig into the game here tonight, and as you may notice, I am wearing a jersey. If you hear any noise, I apologize. Obviously, you're doing this in my apartment. I have roommates, and we have a bunch of our buddies down here for our Christmas thing. This is the only time everyone was available ahead of Christmas. So with Leafs games on, Friday, Saturday, and Monday, yes, there are people down here in my apartment. So I apologize if there's any noise. Let's get out ahead of it right now. Wanted to let you know, but we do a jersey swap. If anyone can guess what jersey I am wearing, I don't know what I'll do, but give you props in the chat, I guess. Let me know what jersey I'm wearing, who the player is, what team it is, and we'll shout you out in the chat here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. The other thing that I want to remind everyone about here throughout the course of the stream as it goes, because we already have a super chat here, and we will get to that very quickly, but we have a super chat charity partner this season. That's right, a super chat charity partner this season, and it is our friends over at Sick Kids. If you want to make sure your question or comment gets on the show, hit us with a super chat. Proceeds from our super chat will go to Sick Kids, Canada's first children's hospital and the top research-intensive children's hospital in Canada, and third in the world. It goes to an amazing, amazing cause here. So any of those super chats that you guys send over throughout the course of the show, you want your questions read, or you just want to donate money for whatever reason, the proceeds go to Sick Kids. So thank you all for that. We will read them. And if you're wondering, what is a super chat? How do I buy a super chat? Well, super chat and super stickers are ways to monetize our channel through the YouTube partner program, which we are a part of. These features let you guys, the viewers, purchase live chat messages that stand out, and sometimes you can pin them, whatever, during the course of the show. If you want to buy a super chat, just click the $sign within the live chat there. The live chat must be visible. Select one of the following, a super sticker, and find a sticker pack you like, and choose an individual sticker, or super chat, and then select an amount. Either drag the slider or enter whatever amount it is that you're looking to and add an optional message. Click buy and send. We will read them all on the stream here. You'll get the super chat, Sick Kids animation throughout the course of the show as well. But again, yes, it does go to our charity partner. And I'm not seeing anyone with the right guess on the jersey yet. I will let you know. My dad is also texting me. What is the jersey? I will tell you if no one gets it, but I want to see if you guys can get it first. I want to know what you guys are going to guess before we get there. So, yeah, I'm wearing the jersey. That's about as much as I'll show you right there. And that's it. You guys can guess. We'll dig into the game throughout the course of the show here tonight. I want to start first and foremost with just kind of the storylines leading into this one here tonight. So, Matt Murray gets his first start in over 600 days. And our friend Nick tweets out the Golden Muzzy. tweeted out, I bookmarked this one so I could read this to you guys on the show. Matt Murray notches his first NHL win in 638 days. I don't want to dig too much into Matt Murray's play and make that a conversation here tonight. I don't think that this is going to be a guy who's with the team in a major capacity moving forward, so I'm not really panicked. He came in here tonight. He gets a win. I think that's great. The thing that you will hear, and I want to preface this right now, is that he will not, I will bring him up on some of the goals. I'm not going to rip on him during the show. I'm not going to make this a bigger issue than whatever it needs to be. I'm just going to, it will be brought up because there are a couple that I went, ooh, but it happens. It happens. Murray won. That's all you can ask for. That's what Warrior Womp says. I think that's probably a good way to look at it. Some of you in the chat are close on you're getting the team here. Some of you are close in the right direction. Some of you are stuck on some stuff that you're just wrong. So keep it moving on those. But keep sending your guesses. No one has got the player yet. I will say that. If it comes across in the chat, I will say it. Ogie Oglethorpe, no. Okay, Murray was fine. Fair enough. We'll dig into some of that as we go. That was the first thing. Second thing. I hope everyone watched. Let's start with that. Let's go here as well. I hope everyone watched Leafs Morning Take this morning because I heard one of maybe the funniest clips I've ever heard in my entire life, and I'm going to get that, and we're going to play it on the show as like an audio drop in the future, hopefully by tomorrow, every time something with this guy happens. And it was Jay Rosehill talking about Pontus Holmberg. Pontus, hello Pontus. You need to go watch it because he did 10 million times better of a job than I just did, but it's one of the funniest clips I've ever seen. Pontus Holmberg gets in the lineup here tonight. That's where I'm going with this one. He gets into the lineup. I talked about it in the game preview. That fourth line to me, you want to talk about Jimmy VC Vanilla? That's Jimmy VC Vanilla, that fourth line between David Kampf, Pontus Holmberg, and Pontus and Steven Lorenz. That was that's vanilla. Sorry, just thinking about hearing Rosie's voice in my head saying it. They just don't really kind of generate enough for me to go in there and be like, wow, they're doing a lot. They don't give up much, but they're kind of just a get on, get off. I can't remember who it was that I heard say it, but the best way to describe it is easily a fast forward button. They go on the ice, their shift ends, and it's just like nothing happened. You could just basically skip that period of hockey like it doesn't even matter. You get from the start, you get to the end, and they've done nothing. They've given up nothing. No one really cares. They just kind of played. It's like, that's okay. But long term, and especially when it comes to the playoffs, you need more. And I feel like that line just doesn't have enough in it. I don't think that they were really outstanding here tonight. And I feel like it also just doesn't really help or complement Steven Lorenz that much. Mike Batson, that fourth line is dump and go sit on the puck. To an extent, I think. And Gordon Graham said they had some good shifts hemming the opponent in their D zone. They were there, but I'm more talking big picture. I don't know how my phone is playing the game out loud that's not even playing. They just started playing the Leafs game on my phone. I guess saying Pontus, like Rosie got it all fired up. I'll just say this, because a lot of you guys are guessing London Knights. I'm getting texts from my mom and my dad now. London Knights, it's not the London Knights. It's not the London Knights. Wrong team. It's not an OHL jersey. Keep going here. Yeah, that line is relatively vanilla for me. I think that they're kind of just, they're bland, and I want more. The line that had a lot going for them here tonight was the third line. That third line is fucking exceptional. Another game where all three of them get on the board. They get off to a hot start here in this game. You open this thing up on the road in Buffalo, a game where... a place where you traditionally have issues handling this the Sabres team in Buffalo. You have a tough time against them. You have a bad history against them. Everyone knows the Leafs fans are going to be there. There's going to be massive support behind them. And you found a way to get going from the jump, and it's from your third line. Like, it's your third line who's making things happen here tonight. 3 goals again for them. Each one of them gets on the board. I thought that was awesome. Like, it's a Domi chip out of the zone. It's also smart plays, right? I'm sorry I keep saying the word awesome, but it is what it is. It's a smart play by Domi in the defensive zone, who chips that thing up to Robertson as he's drawing down pressure kind of at the bottom of the circle, more towards the middle of the ice a little bit there. He chips it out over to the wall. Nick Robertson, one thing, yes, it was a great pass by Robertson to give the puck back after Domi moves up ice after drawing the Sabres defenseman down low. But the thing that Nick Robertson did here, which I want to give him a round of applause on, was take a hit to make a play. Watches as Domi draws the Buffalo defender down and dishes across to him. The next thing that happens is the Buffalo defender then decides to pinch down on Robertson and try to take time and space away. That's fine, because Nick Robertson doesn't panic with that puck. He gets his head up the ice, notices Domi is jetting back up, and there is an open space in the middle there towards the slot. He chips it over to Domi, who goes back up the ice, cuts across, which draws all the way across. Everyone on Buffalo, I laugh because I'm not laughing at Domi, I'm laughing at Buffalo defensively. Everyone on Buffalo, Domi's over here, and he goes across the other side of the ice. There was about 3 Sabres who all went like this. And Bobby McMahon, with the recognition, comes in behind on the backside, goes over kind of outside the far post there, and Domi with a nice pass across, feathers it through, and Bobby McMahon is able to score on a sharp angle. That was a beautiful, beautiful play that is started off by good play in your defensive zone, heads up hockey, drawing players down low, and then forcing them to make mistakes and overcommit in the offensive zone for them, defensive zone for you, and then using it in transition to go up the ice. Kudos to that third line. Some people in the chat have got it. You guys have got it right. I'll show you here now. It is a North Stars jersey. And not only is it a North Stars jersey, you got it right. A Mike Modano North Stars jersey. Come on. That's a pretty nasty jersey. My buddies got that for me. Shout out to them. Thought that was pretty awesome. I said, yep, I'll wear it on the stream. It's pretty cool. And they're trying to tell me to wear it to the bar this weekend. And I don't know. We'll see about that one. I kind of don't want to mess it up, because this is just a disgusting jersey. I don't want to mess this thing up. But disgusting jersey. You guys got it. There was a bunch of you who started to say it there in the chat. I was reading them go by. So shout out. My dad texts me, North Stars, correct. And then I'm trying to find who the first person was who said it there. But Mike Modano, North Stars. There it is. Darren McNeil, North Stars Modano. Darren, credit to you. You get a round of applause. All right, that's the last I'll say of the jersey. But thank you. And I'm wearing it through the rest. I'm not wearing a London Knights jersey with Mitch Marner, but that would have been the funniest possible thing my buddies could have done, in all honesty. That would have been pretty hilarious. We got a couple of super chats here to get to on the show tonight. And as you guys know, these go to a great cause. A great cause. Yes, Darren, you did say it. Goes to a great cause. Goes to our Sick Kids charity partner. So thank you for the super chat here. We got 2. We'll get to both of them here in this one. I think it makes sense just given what they are. But let's get to the super chats. Okay. We'll do these 2, and then I'll get to the third one that just came in there in a second. First of all, Robert Smith, before the show even started, Robert sends a super chat, Rugrats. Robert, thank you very much. Robert has just been dishing super chats here, not even saying anything about the game, just strictly for the kids. Robert, thank you very much for that. The other one that we'll do, we'll put this one in here together because it's a Leafs question. We can talk about it in a bit, and then we'll get to David Owens after. We'll throw in an entire new super chat animation for him when he gets it. So Sangnam here earlier on said, Berube will point out a low-intensity effort when the game was mostly decided, but Though Murray did not look sharp, more good play from third line, and let's be honest, Buffalo, not much of a real threat. No, they are not. They are not much of a real threat. I know Murray did not look sharp, which is something that I brought up there, and I know people in the chat immediately would say, hey, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. Okay, he's fine. He's fine. Like, for a guy who has not played or won a game in 600 and what did Nick say? 638 days. An NHL win in 638 days. Yeah, he was fine in his return to play here tonight. I will allow that. I think that's an okay argument. And if you're going to say don't get too harsh on him, that's fine. I'm not going to here tonight. But that doesn't excuse the team in front of him for sloppy defensive play in the third period. I think through the first 40 minutes, this team was lights out. Obviously, you kind of get lucky a little bit, which, by the way, I didn't even realize was happening with the high stick that takes place with on Tanev, where he's bleeding. Like, I watch a lot of hockey. I had no clue. They're going to challenge. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe offside on the zone entry or something. And it's like, oh, it's actually not a challenge. The linesmen or lines people, as we saw in the broadcast, the lines people saw that there was a high stick and he's bleeding, and they went to the ref after the play ended to call it. Fine, fair enough. I'm glad that they saw it and they were able to go back and fix and what just took place. But like, that's kind of outrageous. I couldn't believe that took place there. I was sitting there watching, and I've got some of my buddies, like, these guys know hockey as well. We're all sitting there going, what? You could do that? Like, I think I watch a lot, and I'm sitting there going, what? Since when? When is this a thing? How can you do that? Regardless, gets a goal wiped off the board for the Sabres, and then kind of allows the Leafs to open back up and not have to clench your buttholes again because you're in Buffalo and the crowd's taken out of it. You get back on the right course. It goes back to 1-0 after that one's taken off the board. And then it's not too long after that this Leafs team scores on the power play, and it's Austin Matthews who does so. Open this thing up and make it a 2-goal game there. Again, not going to dig too much into it. Sabres fans are probably furious. I would probably be as well if I was on the opposite side of it. I think it's the right call in hindsight, knowing this now. I had zero idea. I'm not even going to pretend like that was something I was holding in my back pocket and saying, yeah, I knew that was the case. I had no clue that could go on and the ref could just be like, no, actually I saw back there this thing occurred, so we got to fix that. So, strange, but works in the Leafs' favor. Keep moving here on the game. Let's talk about that second goal by the Leafs, actually, quickly within this one, because that to score in the power play, for a power play that's been struggling, it's going to look better. Again, I don't want to be negative or Debbie Downer, and you won, and I think that's a positive here, especially just it's relief, right? It's relief from who this team is and what happens. Traditionally, normally you probably just outright lose this game, or you get up and create that lead and Buffalo comes back and ties it and forces OT, or they win in reg or something just outrageous. And we come on the show after and we're pissed. I can't believe they lost. Jeff's teasing me on the sheet earlier today, 3 p.m. Eastern time on the Daily Faceoff YouTube channel, which you guys should be watching Monday to Friday anyways. I'm producing and I'm on there with Jeff, but Jeff's teasing me today, Zach, you're gonna be laughing, the Leafs can't beat the Sabres in Buffalo. Berkey comes on. He's talking about how the Leafs can't beat the Sabres in Buffalo. Quite honestly, I'm thinking to myself, oh, for fuck's sakes. We've now talked about this so much and for so long, it's going to happen. The Leafs don't allow that. And even though this is a crappier game, to have that relief of this is a game you normally lose and you didn't here tonight is nice. Now, where I would go to the negative side is, yes, the Leafs went 1 for 3 on the power play, and you got to take some of the victories where they come, and you have to be happy about some of the stuff that happens and not just kind of focus on some of the negatives. The power play still doesn't look that great. I don't think that power play looked that effective. There was one play that happens where a bounce gets creative and you kind of get yourselves open. Everyone spreads out, Buffalo scrambles, and then the puck's in the back of their net. It's great to be able to capitalize on that, especially because I think maybe 2 weeks ago, that play probably never even kind of comes to light and they make that happen. I don't think so, but you found a way to capitalize here. Great. Still, I think the process is lacking something. Not trying to be a Debbie Downer again. It's just it's reality, and we need to make sure we acknowledge that there are flaws in the power play and not say, hey, 1 for 3 here tonight, great stuff. Just look at the stats, because there were issues. There were issues. Let's just call it what it is. The other point that was made here on the super chat that I want to bring up by so saying them is Berube will point out a low intensity effort when the game was mostly decided. That's the part that I want to dig into here too. And he kind of ties it all together at the end by saying Buffalo is not much of a real threat. One thing I loved here tonight from Berube is I'm guessing, I'm trying to read lips, I'm trying to figure out what was going on, but there was a camera cut to Berube in the third period, up 5-2, and Berube is kind of not giving it, but speaking with intensity and a purpose behind the bench. Like, he was very clearly not happy or satisfied with what was going on with the play on the ice. He was talking to Mark Savard about it. He's talking to the guys on the bench about it, and he's saying it very directly with a purpose and kind of trying to get a point across. And I thought that was really important there, because it's bigger than just, some coaches screaming for the sake of screaming. He is demanding excellence out of this group. No disrespect to Sheldon Keefe, but how often when those moments would happen, would they be sitting there and saying, okay, like, staying quiet, hey, wake up, don't let this happen, like, normal stuff for sure, but it's not even Buffalo storming back in the game and having to jump in and put an end to it. It's him proactively going out and saying, enough of the shit. We need to get and develop good habits. One thing I remember playing as a kid, you go to tournaments and oftentimes you play against teams who are a lot lower in terms of skill level than you, especially if you play on maybe some better teams or mid-level teams. You're going to end up playing against teams who are more bottom level, and you go into those games and you thump the team 13-1. Wonderful. Great. But are you getting sloppy? Are you playing selfish hockey? Are you getting away from defensive structure? Are you allowing things to get loose? Are you giving up good chances against your goaltender just because you're saying, hey, we're up big here, we're going to pump this team anyways, we can relax? And I think that those things then carry over into the next game because it's what's fresh in your mind. And that's kind of what you're practicing there. You're instilling those habits of, hey, we can do these lazy things and make lazy plays. And then maybe when it goes to the next game, then it starts to push through and be like, hey, we're fucking around against Buffalo. We can kind of carry that play, or it just leaks into the next game against the Winnipeg Jets on Monday, a team that you can't do that to. You cannot do that against. So I think Berube there showed a great example of, we're holding you accountable. You can't be doing this shit. Let's get things going. And he did it at 5-2. He didn't do it at 5-3, 5-4. He did it at 5-2. And it wasn't like Buffalo had this outpour of offense that was going on and we had to pause and say, holy shit, what's going on? It was just him saying, I'm done with this. Let's play the right way. I wanted to give credit to him there, and it was brought up as well kind of by so saying them, and I think that's great. We are getting closer here to the more smelling salts on the stream. We've got a couple more super chats, so I want to get to these. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe here, Leafs Nation 401, right here on YouTube. We appreciate all the support from you guys, but we're shy of 14,000 subscribers, and that's the goal here by Christmas time. We've got a few days left. We got some special things coming here. A Christmas Day, our Christmas show. We're going to record on Nick and Rosie broke the news this morning. I thought we were going to hold that one a secret, but Nick and Rosie broke the news. We're going to record it on the 24th. It's going to drop for you guys, Christmas special on the 25th. Myself, Rosie, Nick, and Carter Hutt, and all the boys get together for that one. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the stuff, but keep hitting that like button. Let's get it to 50 here on the stream as we get to the next super chat. David Owens with the super chat. David, thank you. We appreciate it as always. David says, listen to this one, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. Patch's goal, Leafs win, and over 5.5 parlay comes through. So sharing the wealth. Congrats on the parlay hitting. That's awesome. We also here on the show hit our best bet for the day, so we'll dig into that later on as well, but kind of got by on the skin of our teeth, or by the skin of our teeth there at the end. But David, thank you very much. Proceeds go to Sick Kids there, Sick Kids Charity, so thank you for that. How many goals does Patches get this year? Over under 17.5 is what David says. Thank you for sharing the wealth as well, but let's get to what our prediction is. I want you guys to send your predictions as well. David says over under 17.5. Let's dig into this, how many he's got this year, how many games are left this season, and what we're all predicting he's going to be able to do by the end of this season. So, Max Pacioretty obviously missed a bunch of time here this season with that leg injury. Now at this point has... I think this is his 5th goal. Was it his 5th goal? Huh. I'm going to say, I might be overly optimistic here, but I'm going with over 17.5. A lot of the reason behind this one and why I think that that's going to be the case is because... And they fixed it here tonight, which I think is the right decision, especially long-term, is going with Nyes Matthews-Marner, who Nyes' game has kind of hit a lull here, which I'm not going to be smashing panic button. Maybe I'm just too soft on the guy, but I'm not going to smash panic button here yet, just based on how much of a beast he was early on. Maybe there's just lulls, natural lulls that come about. It seems to happen for everybody, so why don't we allow the kid to maybe go through that? But... he's now playing on a line with John Tavares and William Nylander. First of all, William Nylander, I love this guy. Watching him play, William Nylander is just becoming one of my favorite players in the league with how calm he is with the puck, with how he approaches the game, with how he possesses it, how strong he is in battles, and when he's got the puck open ice, how hard it is to take the puck away from him. Like, he's so dominant. He's so capable of just dominating the offensive zone and turning things around. It is... I mean, there's a lot of times where I kind of will be an apologist for Nylander. I will admit to that. I just am so obsessed maybe with just his mentality and the way he approaches the game. And I know he does infuriating things out there. I know he does things that just absolutely piss me off, where it's like, why would you make that play at the blue line? How could you be so confident there when you're the last man back and give up that opportunity? Like, why would you do that? But also the way he kind of fixes things and acknowledges it and takes the response from the coach is top tier. And I thought he looked really good here tonight. And one of the things as well that I kind of wanted to get to in this conversation with this Pacioretty prediction is the way he makes plays. And not just him, but John Tavares as well. And the way those two guys seem to be jiving together right now to make things happen positively for this group, because John Tavares gets this fucking amulet that I still need to get here, because apparently I'm like just going to find some set of legs. I might be playing pro. Like, I'm going to have to quit the show and quit Jeff's show because I'm going to get the amulet and I'm going to be playing pro hockey with what it's going to do for my legs. And all of a sudden I'm going to be show bound. But Johnny T gets this amulet and he's found a second win. He's found a second life. He goes out there every single time and he is making plays. He's finding speed. He's getting in on the forecheck. He's not losing battles. And out of nowhere, which maybe is because of an influence of not just Craig Berube, but Max Pacioretty, who he knows is going to have his back physically in any kind of altercation, is standing there right beside him. John Tavares will go out there twice tonight. Twice. I sat there and I wrote down, I'm like, what the hell? Who is this that I'm watching? The first one that I noticed was Austin Matthews takes a cross check to the back in the third period with about... Or not the first one, sorry, but one of the biggest ones I noticed. 6 minutes left in the third period. There's a power play. Matthews takes a cross check to the back. Marner goes in, like, okay, you can't do that, which actually, you know what? kudos to Marner, because in years past, he probably hightails his ass right to the bench and wants nothing to do with that play, but he at least goes in there. And I'm like, okay, you know what? At least he went in there. And then it gets better. He is not the only guy who's in there. The camera zooms in and you don't really see it happening, or as it's happening, you see him kind of, okay, Marner's in there pushing, Matthews isn't doing much, and all of a sudden you see this hand come out of nowhere and smack the guy in the visor. I think it was Gilbert in there, smack him in the visor, and it's JT coming out of nowhere. I'm like, why does this guy have this life here now? Why does this guy have this energy to him where he's jumping in there and willing to stick up for guys physically? Like, he is in there supporting his teammates, sticking up for guys. I know there's teams around the league. I know our friends who are on other teams are going to come into the chat. Sabres fans are going to say, ooh, that's what you're excited about? Yeah, it is, because John Tavares typically shows no emotion. And I don't know if it was the fact that he's not wearing the C that's freed this up in him and allowed him to kind of like open this door of, I'm an angry guy, but all of a sudden this new found confidence has come out of JT. I feel like part of it is maybe the pressure's off him of being the captain and being like, oh, it's not, I can't do that anymore because I can't go to the box. Maybe part of it is having Max Pacioretty, who's just a weapon alongside of him and willing to kill people at any given moment. And then also, he's got an amulet. Like, you can't hurt a man with an amulet. So, Johnny T, I saw that out of him. The other thing, which just shout out, which is another situation or occurrence of him showing emotion, was Jason Zucker gives him a little whack and he turns around and just whack across, he was with the backhand, but he whack across Zucker's pant legs, and like, in that moment, I'm just sitting there going, holy shit, maybe this team is a little bit different. That one is going to get grabbed by our social team, probably. I'm sorry, but maybe they are just a little bit different. And maybe that's the little bit, the step in the right direction that we needed out of this group to start to see things more positively and say, you know what? Maybe we can believe in these guys a little bit. Not fully. Let's not be crazy here. Not fully, but a little bit. We're one like away here from Smelling Salts on the stream. Make sure to hit that like button. But the kind of where I was going with this to wrap it all together and put a bow on it of why I think that Max Pacioretty can put up over 17.5 this season is because he's playing on a line with those guys. He's getting opportunities on a power play on the second unit there, and the first unit's not that great, so the second unit is getting some time. He's also getting opportunities late in the game. Empty nets. He's getting out there when you need to stop a goal. He's getting out there when you need to go up a man. Like, he's getting a lot of chances to go out and play a big factor with this team. I could see him clearing 17.5, doing so with John Tavares, who I just laid down all these reasons why he has elevated his play, and William Nylander, a guy who is just a phenomenal playmaker, great carrying the puck, great protecting the puck, and is able to kind of just create chaos in the offensive zone while he coasts around and everyone stops and stares and says, look at William Nylander, and then bang, he hits Pacioretty as he's driving the back post and taps that thing in. So they're playing with some emotion. They've got some life. They've got some energy behind them. And Max Pacioretty is a huge catalyst of that, and he's been able to kind of capitalize here on some of these opportunities. So playing with those lines, I think is going to really, really benefit him. And I think Berube did the right thing by moving those lines around here yet again tonight. So much more to get to, or a few more things to get to here on the show tonight. We're at almost 200 viewers right now. We've got a couple of super chats left here to get to as well on the show, but we did hit 50 likes. If we get to 100 likes, we'll do them again. 50 likes, that's Smelling Salts for us. Thank you guys for liking the stream, subscribing to the channel. Let's do it. Whoa. There you go. An extra little one because you guys zipped it past 50 so quickly there for us. Couple more things. Keep 6. Anyone had the garlic mushroom burger from Wendy's yet? No. Is it worth trying? Those of you in the chat. Let's see. What else do we got here? Another super chat. Super chat. Mike Fammy. Mike just says, for the kids. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Proceeds go to Sick Kids Charity, so thank you for the super chat. Tammy Marin with another super chat just sends a sticker. How's it going? Tammy, you know what? It's going well. A Leafs win here tonight. I obviously long-term don't want these sloppy third periods, but for the time being, you beat Buffalo. You found a way out of it. You had Matt Murray in net. I think that there's just an element of like, hey, we can accept these and be happy with wins when they come this way, because these are games that we lose in years past. In history, these are games that just don't go our way, and we sit here and we get pissed about because we got slapped around, and it's not fun. A win against Buffalo in Buffalo, not allowing their team to take the fans out of it, is a positive to me. So it's going well. We got another super chat here as well. Okay, Maurice Poitras. We got this one, and then we got another super chat after this. Maurice, I mean, if we can, why not get ourselves to 100 likes and maybe $100? We can match them. 100 likes, $100 on the super chats. Remember, proceeds go to Sick Kids Charity. But Maurice Poitras, I believe this year might be the year for Toronto to make it to the Cup. Oof. Bold take, Maurice. Okay, let's dig into this one a little bit more. Patches, a 67, and I was born the last time they won the Cup in 67. I'm 57. What do you and the people in the fan base think? Well, Maurice, I love myself a good tie-in. I love being able to predict future based on, some of the stars aligning in astrology and all that kind of stuff. So that obviously gets me excited because, some of the things are going the right direction. The former captain of the Montreal Canadiens is wearing 67 for the Maple Leafs. Haven't won since 67. It's like, okay, all the dominoes are coming together here. Maybe we can string enough together for us to tip it all the way over to that Cup final. Right now, we're getting there, and it's like, ooh, just missed that next one, and it wasn't tight enough, but maybe this is enough. This is what we needed to get us all the way to the Cup final. So hopefully, I hope the chat thinks so as well, but thank you for the super chat there. Nick Alberga, TLN Christmas party at Parlor tonight, amateur night. Yeah, we are amateurs here on the show. We've established that. Nick and Rosie, if those guys are amateurs, then I don't even know what the hell I am. Like, what is a word below amateur? Because whatever it is, that's what I am. Like, these guys are amateurs. Amateur night at Parlor. TLN Christmas party at Parlor. I'm there, I'm in, amateur night. You're the amateur. I'm below that at this point. But shout out to Golden Muzzy in the chat there, our guy. Hopefully be able to see the Golden Muzzy later. And I gave Nick his Christmas gift today. For those who don't know, Nick and I live very close together. I went over and saw Nick, gave him his Christmas gift. I think he liked it. No one in the chat was able to guess what it was. I think he liked it. You'll find out on Monday. Maybe. I don't know if he's going to save it till after Christmas. More stuff in the chat here. Next super chat. So, keep believing. When is the next Gord's Corner? I have to talk to Gord. Jesus, I almost threw my phone across the room. My hand got caught in my charger, and as I put my hand down, I almost yanked it across. When is the next Gord's Corner? That's a good question, keep believing. I'm going to talk to Gord and see what we can do and when he's available next. Hopefully we can get Gord on maybe tomorrow. But I have a special guest for you guys tomorrow. Very special guest. I'm not going to unveil it today. He's part of the Leafs Nation community. No, not community. That's the wrong word. Team. He's part of the Leafs Nation team. You guys can guess all you want. I'm not going to tell you. You'll find out tomorrow when I put the Leafs Nation pregame video out. And I post that one earlier in the day. That is where you will find out who the guest is for tomorrow night. It's a good one. Well, it's an exciting one. It's a guy that you guys are going to want to see and have probably been waiting for. You interact with here in the chat, so you'll find out tomorrow on the program. But I'll see if our guy Gord wants to call in tomorrow, maybe to close out the show. We'll check with him, but yeah, we'll see. Because it has been a while. We need a nice Gord's Corner going on. We need to dig into this. You know what? I feel like Gord's stopping by here and there to kind of give us updates on what he thinks the positives have been, how they've developed, if he's seeing some of the same things I am. Because I see Gord pop in and out of the chat here and there. I know he's got to work a lot of times, so we'll try to figure some of that stuff out. But I don't think Saturdays are a conflict for him. I think he's able to do that, so we'll figure that out. An AI construct, maybe. That's the super chats there. So through those, couple of other things here on the show I want to get to as you guys get this thing up to 100 likes here on the stream tonight. We appreciate all of you liking and subscribing. Next thing that I want to dig into is I don't want to do it, but Simone Benoit. Connor Timmins. Little bit shaky. Little bit shaky for me right now. I'm not trying to make this a negative one here tonight, but it kind of really stood out again. There's just some moments where they get really exposed, and right now, I think we can kind of get by with some of it because it's the regular season and it's the Buffalo Sabres and it's not that important and we won the game, so we're not worried. And I'm not smashing like panic buttons, and I'm not having a Justin Hall type of rant or occasion here, but like I'm breaking these games down game by game. I'm going through these like one at a time and trying to remember and think of stuff in bigger picture. So a lot of that is kind of going through my head in some of these. The chat is very much in differing opinions or having differing opinions on this game here tonight. It is kind of all over the place on what you think about Timmins and Benoit, etc. My whole point is just, I think you can upgrade on them. I don't think it's internally. I think you might have to go out and get someone else elsewhere, but you've kind of had to shuffle stuff like putting McCabe with Benoit to even things out. You put Riley with Timmins, which I'm not really a fan of, but you bounce guys around and give guys different opportunities here now because you're trying to find some of those combinations that are good. And while I appreciate that, you kind of get away from some of like, hey, you broke up McCabe and Tanev, who are an unbelievable shutdown pair. And I know that you can like stagger some guys to find combinations. And ultimately, maybe in the end, McCabe and Tanev don't play together. And maybe they are separated. And that's fine. My whole point here with bringing these guys up tonight is this is another game where I saw some leaky stuff from them. Again, not like an awful game, but it's just something I want to point out because I'm breaking these games down. Like, I'm watching every single second of it. That's how I felt here tonight. Like, in 6 1/3, McCabe's coming back okay, though, Zack. I know, I'm not talking about McCabe at all here tonight. I'm talking about them breaking out and having to play this guy with this guy just to get him going and make sure he's okay and elevate his game, whatever. I'm more so just talking about long-term or into the playoffs. I feel like there can be an upgrade to these guys, and it's not like I'm panicked if they do go in together, but I think somebody to throw in there can kind of clean it up. Like RJWI also putting in the chat, our guy Rob there, I think it's a good point. Needs to be Riley Tanev. Like, you need a guy for Riley and like Tanev. I think that could be the case, but like Tanev or OEL. Right? I would rather him with one of those guys. I think it helps him a lot. When you go to a game like this where you have to switch everything up, you break up pairings, you break up stuff like that. it can feel like too much pressure's on Riley there in a situation, and then maybe you have a fall-off point from Tanev's partner, or I shouldn't even say a fall-off because it's OEL. Like, I love that guy, what he's doing. More just talking about, like, switching McCabe to OEL. There is a difference between how those guys play together. Then you go to McCabe and Benoit is now a pair. Like, that's not as solid as McCabe and Tanev. I think that the D could increase, or could just improve. Sorry is probably the better word. And I think that we see these breakdowns here and there where it's like, oh shit, sloppy play has occurred. I don't think it's solely on the defense, but I do think they could be better. Kind of where I'm at in my defensive breakdown. I don't want to go too much into it here tonight, though. One thing, I would be an idiot if I didn't bring it up because we talked about it on the Merrick show on the sheet in the first week. It was one of the first things I did was grab clips about goalie interference. That goalie interference, if people have an issue with it, I don't know what you're watching. I don't know what you're talking about. There is a line, if you watch on the NHL.com website, that makes things pretty clear. If you're in the blue, that's on you. That play happened. Jeff texted me and said, if you're in the blue, that's on you. I'm like, yep. We'll be talking about that one here tonight. That was a clear as day call based on what the NHL rulebook is. Obviously, here and there, it can get iffy about what the refs determine is or isn't going to be goalie interference. They can flip-flop here and there. But that was a good call and a good challenge by this Leafs team. His leg goes through the crease. He takes away Murray's stick as he's going across, and then it ends up beating him on the stick side. I think that's clear as day, so I don't know why people would have an issue with that. If you're in the blue, that's on you, as Jeff said, as he took that one from NHL.com. I mean, kudos to Jeff where he deserves it, but took that one from NHL.com, and he knows it. Okay. Couple other things here tonight before we can get out. First thing that I want to do is I want to remind you guys, because we've got some exciting stuff coming in the new year. Yeah, no, we're going to go with a Christmas episode here with the four of us chatting and going through everything. But you guys need to listen up because this is not your average trip. This is the Nation Vacation. We're taking it to the Music City, baby. From March 20th to 23rd, we're packing our jerseys and heading to Nashville to watch Toronto take on Nashville in their own barn. We're talking hockey action, honky-tonk vibes, and the kind of memories that only come when you roll deep with the Nation crew. I mean, just think about that. Rosie, Nick, Hutz, producer Vic, who you still all believe is an AI construct, myself down there in Nashville, hanging out with us, watching games with us. Flight packages, we've got them. Prefer to handle your own travel? We've got on-flight options too. Whatever works for you, just get yourself there because this is going to be electric. Spots are limited, so don't miss your chance to join the action. Book your trip now at nationgear.ca. That's nationgear.ca. Nashville awaits. We will see you there. Guys, make sure to sign up for the Nation Vacation at nationgear.ca. Very, very, very cool things coming up here for the show in the near future. So thank you all to everyone who has signed up. To those of you who haven't yet, come on. Come on. It's time. Get on over there. Get on over there. Sign up for the Nation Vacation, nationgear.ca. Okay. Think we're good. Here, another super chat. Super chat from So Sangnam. So Sangnam, you're wrong. Obviously, the guest is Celine Dion. Oh my God, way to go. No, it is not Celine Dion. That would be exciting, but it's not Celine Dion. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen who thought it would be. It's not. All right, couple things before we wrap up. Let's first and foremost here tonight go to our play of the game. Play of the game tonight could be a tough one. There are numerous things that occurred that I thought, wow, that was pretty sick. That was fun to watch. The Nick Robertson goal, taking off on a break. The goal scored by Bobby McMahon early on is worthy as well. To be able to capitalize on the power play was great. Just feeding that thing through from Nylander to Matthews, bearing on the one-timer, and then as well the Sorry, I got distracted here because Denver is in the chat right now. I've never seen anyone just more openly troll in my entire life. Like, this cannot be serious commentary. I just have to point this out. The Leafs lose. We come on here. We're like, shit game, played terribly. Denver's like, I thought they played great. The Leafs win, and we're like, you know what? Great 40 minutes, terrible last 20. Blah, blah, blah. And this guy comes in the chat. This game was embarrassing, and I can't believe you're happy about it. What do we want here, man? Like, what do we want? Denver, come on. Relax. It'll be all okay. I mean, yeah. Anyways, there was a couple plays that I thought, you know what? It's worthy of being up there. I thought that the Nick Robertson play was pretty great. I detailed earlier how awesome I thought that the play by Max Domi to Robertson and then Robertson back to Domi to then create the McMahon goal was. But I'm going to give it to the Max Domi goal because I am a massive Bobby McMahon fan. That guy fires me up every single time I watch him play. The way that he has impacted this team and that line since his return, the physicality, the speed, the pressure that he brings, finishing every check, like he's now instilled that throughout the rest of the line. Obviously, Domi already does that kind of stuff, but you know, you're watching Nick Robertson go out there and finish every check. Like you're watching Nick Robertson be a physical presence on the ice and a guy who is going to go out there and maybe not lay a punishing hit or be overly ruthless on stuff, but he's a guy who's going to now at least close out on you. And that's not what he was doing before. And now watching that whole line do it and watching them have offense, create offense and be an offensive threat. Like now you're getting this depth in your lineup where not just the first line or the second line can score. You have now got back-to-back games where Robertson, Domi, and McMahon, 3 for 3, have scored. Happened against Dallas, happened here tonight against Buffalo, and that needs to be given credit to. Like, those guys are finding a way here right now when we kind of all wrote them off, myself especially. Bobby McMahon on that play to Max Domi was an absolute horse. First of all, Mitch with an incredible stretch pass to Bobby, but he recognizes Buffalo's in a bad change situation. They're caught off. He goes across the ice, and as he's going across, jutting to the outside, Marner hits him with the spread pass, protects the puck, hits the brakes, and while he hits the brakes, wraps that thing around his body to Max Domi, tape to tape, coming down, barreling through the slot, and puts that thing top corner off of like a little one-touch shot. It goes top corner, past, I don't even know who was that at that time. I think that was the last goal on UPL before Reimer ended up going in, but it's just an awesome play that shows hustle, protecting the puck, and Bobby McMahon being a fucking horse yet again. So kudos to Bobby. That's my play of the game. Everything else can kind of just fit in there and get the credit it deserves. I also want to give shout out to Morgan Riley. I think he got his, that fight with Tage Thompson, let's just put it this way, it did not go as well as it could have. I don't think he got dummied, but I don't think he got dummied, but I don't think it went particularly well. That's I kind of want to just leave it at that. The thing I want to give him credit for is that's your captain who gets absolutely smoked. Clean hit, no problem. Kudos to Tage Thompson. Great hit, man. You smoked Matthews. Great hit. But Riley goes in there. That's a huge guy. That's a big man. It's not like he's a huge, tough guy. But he goes and he ate a few. He says, you know what? That's my captain. You can't do that. That's our best goal scorer. Well, maybe Nylander is now, but that's our best guy. He stepped up. And you know what? As pathetic as it is for us as Leafs fans to have to be like, the guy stepped up and that's what we're giving credit for, it's different, man. We don't see that stuff before. John Gallagher, no, he got dummied. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I was just going to leave it at he ate a few. Yeah, he kind of got pumped. He kind of got filled there. But steps up. kudos to him. I'm glad that happened. That's just a win for the team as a whole to have those guys sticking up for each other. It's not just your bottom line guys and your depth guys who are going to stick up now. It's Riley, it's Pacioretty and Tavares who are going to jump into these plays, and that makes me happy. Thankful for them. I would like Matthews to show a little bit of fight. I'm not going to lie. Debo, clean hit from Tage, 100%. Like, perfectly clean hit. That was awesome. Debo, I think that the whole point here, though, is that it's just a message. You smoke the captain, we'll come at you. Make sure to hit that like button here on the stream. We're very close today to getting ourselves to 100 likes, which I would appreciate, obviously, but I would appreciate that. Let's get to our best bet. We'll get out of here very shortly, but best bet for tonight. Our best bet segment is brought to you by Bet365, proud partner in the Leafs Nation pregame and the Leafs Nation after dark. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use code NATION, NATION. That's code NATION, NATION, all caps when you sign up today. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Okay, today's best bets. Again, back in the win column for us, ladies and gentlemen, and back-to-back plus money that gets us some decent wins. Last game, not last night. Nick Robertson, anytime goal, plus 500. That one cashes, $20 to profit 100. Tonight, William Nylander, plus 145, plus 100, plus 145, $100. Oh my God, my brain is scrambled at the end of this week. Plus 145, $100 profits us $145 here tonight on William Nylander. That brings our record on the season to 12-26. That's right, 12-26. And we are now down only $3 on the season. We're $3 away from zero, ladies and gentlemen. Bankroll management, responsible gaming. We've only won 12 times, but we've hit some big plus money ones here for us on the best bets. We went through a bad stretch where we lost 7 in a row from game 26 to game 31, but game 32, game 33, they come in clutch. We get a couple of wins, plus 500 and plus 145. Those are big wins for us there. Obviously, William Nylander playing with that top line is going to give me a little bit of excitement when I look at these best bets and say, that's the one to go on. But him going to the second line works out pretty well as well. And we got lucky. He scored on an empty netter, but we're not going to talk about that one because it doesn't really matter. It went in the net, and anytime goal, they don't ask how, they ask how many. Plus 145, $145 profit for us here tonight on the show. We appreciate that. Thank you so much to appreciate William Nylander for burying on the empty net is more so what I meant to say. And we appreciate you guys for hitting that like button. 12 away as we get to our final thing on the show here tonight. Let's get to our grades of the game before we wrap things up. Again, if you haven't already, watch Morning Take. Even if you go to like the end, make sure you find the part where Vic tells Rosie that Pontus Holmberg is playing, and he just starts saying, Pontus, hello Pontus. Pontus. That's one of my favorite things. Pontus Pilot. Yeah. Francesco, thanks, Zack. Had $1,000 on Nylander. You're welcome. I guess. I didn't tell you about $1,000, but yeah, we gave out plus 145. Grades of the game, send your grades in the chat here, and let's close this thing out to get out of here tonight. I'm going to go, you know what? My grade tonight is going to be a B+. I mean, I could see people going lower. I think that's fine. I can't personally really justify anything ahead of that. That's kind of the top that I could get to, a B+. And I'm really trying to not be a negative Nancy here about this team. Like, you're finding ways to win against teams that you normally lose against. And I know that I'm like really hammering that and really digging into the fact that this is what this group is doing this year. But like, these are games last year we come on here and lose our minds. Like, how did you lose to Buffalo? Why did you lose to the Sabres? You're rolling. You've got all this stuff. You let Murray down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, you didn't play the greatest in front of Murray, especially in the fourth period. But, like, you played great for 40. You showed up on time. You get depth scoring. You get Matthews on the board. You get Nylander on the board. Like, that's 3 lines right there who score. You get all 3 of your guys on that. You get all 3 of your guys on that third line scoring. Like, kudos to them. That's awesome as well. Like, again, Matt Murray gets a win. There's a lot of positives. Penalty kill goes 2 for 2. Back in the, you're in the right direction there with special teams. 1 for 3 on the power play. Again, I dug into the power play about, I still don't think that they were that good. Process wasn't that great, but you're going to look at 1 of 3 and say, hey, that was awesome. But it's like, was it really that awesome? And yeah, the story of it is Matt Murray, who ends up, the story of tonight, that is Matt Murray, who ends up getting his first NHL win in 638 days. I think that that's just a cool thing. He gets a second chance. He gets back to the league. Shout out to Matt Murray for the win here tonight. I just read Nick's tweet. I don't want to ever give this guy credit here on the show. Come on. But this is a good one. That Austin Matthews day-to-day tweet is going to hit like a stiff Christmas cocktail. I'm anticipating that coming. That's down the pipeline. I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to handle this, but he's going to be going day-to-day. Denver asked this question 5 times. Zach, do you think we need a top D-man or center? I don't think you need a top D-man. This is probably the first year that I've ever looked at this group and said, you know what? You could get away with just a bottom pair. Between Tanev, McCabe, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson, I think the guys that fill in around Morgan Rielly are finally good enough. Your top 4 is finally good enough. Unless Victor Hedman is available or Kyle McCarr, like, I don't really know who else you're going to go and get that you're going to say, hey, that guy really changes things in the top 4. Unless I'm an idiot not thinking of someone. But bottom 6 probably, our bottom pair guy, a 5-6, and maybe looking at shoring up the bottom 6 here is the ideal way to look. That's our grade of the game. That'll finish it for us here on the show tonight. We are 10 likes away. Shake my head here, guys, at you. 10 likes away from 100. So if you're watching and you haven't already, you want to hit that like button, you can get it right back up there and get ourselves to 100 before we leave. But if not, that's going to do it for me. I will be back in... I will be back tomorrow for another pregame show. We'll break things down, who's playing with who the goalies are, etc. And we will also dig into another best bet. So that's it for me here tonight. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Thanks for all the super chats. Massive amount of super chats. Proceeds go to Sick Kids Charity yet again here. We did hit the smelling salts once on the stream. We were over 200 viewers live here. Live here on the show tonight. So thank you guys very much for that. Appreciate that. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to get Vic. Our special guest on the show tomorrow. And then we're also going to hopefully have Gord's Corner tomorrow to close things out. Thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate it. Oi. Appreciate you guys all. This has been game number 33 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season. Yeah, gave it away. I know, it just slipped out. Game 33 of the Toronto Maple Leafs regular season, defeating the Buffalo Sabres here tonight, 6-3, moving to 21-10-2 on the year. Thanks, as always, for watching. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Until then, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take, Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos. Make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.